Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to lesson 16 of module 1. Today we are talking about using the distributive property as a strategy to find related multiplication facts to solve larger problems. Everybody say distributive. That's a big word. We've talked about the commutative property, and now we're talking about the distributive property. And we're going to be talking first about modeling and showing the 5 plus n pattern. So 5 plus some other number as a strategy for multiplying units of 4. The first problem we're going to do together is 7 times 4. So what we're going to do, we're always going to start with 5 times something. You should have your 4 arrays template in front of you. If you don't, please get it from your binder, put it in your whiteboard sleeve and your whiteboard marker, eraser. If you need, pause the video and go get those materials. You'll need them for the lesson. So now what we're going to do, we're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, and I'm going to draw a line because we're only going to worry about those first 7 rows right now because we're doing 7 times 4. So we've been figuring out these multiplication problems by using arrays, tape diagrams, skip counting, and now we're going to learn a different strategy. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the first 5 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to put a box around them so that I know that that's what I'm looking at. So that's 5 rows times 4. I'm going to put that over here, 5 rows times 4. And I'm going to put those in parentheses. Everybody say parentheses to show that that goes together. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the next 2 rows because 5 plus 2 equals 7, and I'm going to do 2 times 4 over here. And what I get is 20, because 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 times 4 is 8. So I'm going to add those together, and we get 7 times 4 is equal to 28. So boys and girls, if you know the multiplication fact, if you just remember 5 times 4 equals 20, you can use that to solve other multiplication problems because 5 plus 2 is equal to our 7. And if you can solve those and add the sums together, you'll get your answer. Now let's try 9 times 4. Let's try 9 times 4. We're still using our 5 plus n pattern. So we're going to put 9 times 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we'll draw a line there because we're not going to use that bottom row. And again, we're going to start with 5 times something. Well, it's 5 times 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a row, draw a line. And there's our 5 times 4. Now, we think to ourselves, 5 plus what equals 9? Well, it's 4. So we need 4 more rows of 4. And then we have 4 times 4. And if we add those together, we get 20 plus 16 equals 36. And you can write your work exactly the way I am. If you have a notebook or notebook paper and you want to do it write these examples on notebook paper, you can certainly do that as well. So that's the 5 plus n pattern. You're taking 5 and multiplying it by whatever your multiplier is and figuring out how many more do we need to get to that first factor. Let's take a look at another one. Apply the 5 plus n pattern to decompose and solve larger facts. Well, that's what we had been doing, okay? So if you fold your template or just draw a line like I have been, if you've been using your whiteboard. So we still want, so if we have 8 rows of 4, we're doing 8 times 4. So we're going to take 5, start with 5 times 4. plus 5 plus what equals 8? Well, if I have 8 fours, I can think of it in terms of a number bond. I've already done my 5 fours. How many more fours do we need? If we have 5 fours, how many more do we need to get to 8? We need 3 fours. Okay, so now we're going to do 3 times 4. So you can come over here and you can count or skip count if you need to do 5 times 4 to get these products. But 5 times 4 is 20. We should be learning that. That should be sticking in our brains. And then 3 times 4 right here is, well, if you're not sure, you could skip count by 4s. 4, 8, 12. And now we get 32 because a 10 is easier to add. And some of this is going back to what you practiced in 2nd grade too. Okay? All right, let's take a look at your homework pages for today so that you know what you need to do there. So lesson 16 homework, you're practicing the same thing. We're going to label the array, then fill in the blanks below to make true number sentences. So some of you already may know the answer to 6 times 4, but what we want you to practice is decomposing. So they took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 4, and that was equal to 20. So we are left with 1 row of 4, and 1 times 4 is 4. So over here, 6 times 4 is equal to 5 times 4 plus 1 times 4. 5 times 4 is equal to 20. 1 times 4 is equal to 4. And 20 plus 4 is 24. So we can go back up here and fill in the answer. You're going to do the same thing for letter B. You're decomposing 8 times 4 into some simpler problems. On the back, it says match the multiplication expressions with their answers. And they are called expressions, if you remember, because they do not have an equal sign in them. Number 3, the array below shows one strategy for solving 9 times 4. Explain the strategy using your own words. So you're really saying what we've been working on for this lesson, which is using the 5 plus n strategy, breaking a bigger multiplication problem down into a smaller one. Boys and girls, don't hesitate to email me if you have questions, and good luck with your math practice today.